This time last year, I was living in Athens, Georgia. I moved there in January and started online school. I was paying out of my own pocket, so I could only afford to take two classes. I've never really been much of a student by academia standards. I've always just pursued my own interests. I've always just learned what I've wanted to. And in middle school and high school, I was a bit of a rebel and always getting into trouble and just going against the status quo.
Eat my shorts.
You just bought yourself another Saturday, mister.
Oh, I'm crushed.
In high school, I never went to any of my classes. I was always able to just come in on the day of a test and take it and pass. I thought that school was a waste of my time, and I wanted to be a circus artist, so why would I waste my time learning unnecessary things? So I would just skip class and train and do other delinquent activities. Fast forward to 2021, I decided I needed to apply myself somewhere, so I started online school and just thought that I would live a normal life and go to college just like everybody else. As far as I was concerned, I was just getting a fancy piece of paper with an expensive price tag just so I could be deemed employable by some boss. I wanted to catch up to my graduating class, so I started researching ways I could fast track schooling and get the hell out of college. And take the classes at your own pace. Pretty much the exam covers everything you would go over in a typical college course. Figured out which exams that my school offered and just put my nose down to the grindstone and went to work. I wanted to graduate with a bachelor's in a year. So in the month of May, I took 10 of these exams and passed them all with flying colors. From biology to US history, I covered a lot of material. The difficult thing about these exams is that they do not skip over the tiny details. You have to know everything. I was working full-time at Chick-fil-A as a delivery driver, and as I was driving, I would just listen to anything I could find on the course materials. I started work at 8, so I would wake up at 4 and grind until I had to go to work. During my break, it was flashcards. When I got off work, it was more studying. I was completely isolated the entire time I lived in Athens. I never went out. I never did anything for myself. I just worked and studied. That's it. The loneliness drove me to the brink of insanity, but it was brilliant. I was able to perform at such a high level, I knew that I was just on a different wavelength. The school I was at only allowed for me to test out of a certain number of credits, so my progress halted. Eventually, the isolation broke me, and I burnt out. So I moved back home and started living with my brother from another mother, Jean. That's how I did a year's worth of school in 1 month.